Thin privilege is the ability to jump on a trampoline without fear of falling through. That has nothing to do with me being skinny. It has everything to do with you being overweight. If you want to be able to jump on a trampoline without the fear of falling through, lose weight. What's going on, Modder Chodes? It's your boy Long Neil, back again with another new video. And in today's video, we're going over the hot post from r/FatLogic. Let's get into it. Things that are diets. Diets totally suck. I just believe in everything in moderation, you know? You can call it moderation, but restriction is restriction, is restriction is restriction, is a diet. Yeah, this is basically just more proof that these people think anything that isn't eating everything all the time is a diet. Like, what? Diet culture sold you a lie that if you weighed less, you would be happier and healthier. Well, I guess this is kind of not true because, happiness isn't directly correlated with weight. But for some people, they're so overweight that they can't do things that make them happy. So it would definitely make them happier. And for the people that are morbidly obese, it's definitely 1,000% gonna make you healthier. Because I don't care. If you're 400 pounds, you're not healthy. If you lose weight, you'll be healthier. Can we please stop talking like there's some safe way to lose weight? Diets are harmful. There are risks involved, regardless of whether you have an eating disorder history, regardless of the size of your body. Let's stop acting as though supervised weight loss or supplements somehow negate the risks. There are risks and potential harm anytime someone diets or intentionally tries to lose weight. Diets cause harm. Diet culture causes harm. None of it is your fault. In basically every case, it's completely 1,000% all your fault. And I guess in some rare cases, diets do have some sort of risk, but we can't just act like being way overweight doesn't also have risks that are way worse than the risk of dieting. Like, are we just gonna pretend that there are no risks to being overweight? Because that's not true. Fatness causes damage to your body. My fatness has not caused nearly as much damage to my body as trying to be thin has. People who are worried about fat people's joints should go ahead and take a peek at the permanent damage done to my hips during my most recent restrictive bout, or the tendon behind my knee that was completely ruined when I was 17, starving and overexercising. Until we're willing to examine the extensive physical damage done to people exercising 5+ times a week in order to get thin, using poorly regulated supplements, powders, teas to stay thin, and doing restrictive diet plans one after another, I don't want to hear a single word about how damaging fatness is for my body. So yeah, I guess dieting can be dangerous if you're starving yourself and not getting the proper nutrients and vitamins, which is probably why you had joint pain, or your form on whatever you were doing was horrible, which again caused joint pain. But let's not act like people who are overweight don't also experience joint pain. Like, there's a give and take on both sides. But, one of them, you're healthy and probably happier, and the risks are like negatable if you learn form and proper nutrition. And on the other side, the risks are much more deadly and much more permanent. Like, I don't understand why anybody's arguing to choose that it's better to be overweight. It's not. I really want to like Dr. Mike on YouTube, but he really has some fatphobic tendencies. He's actually a fan of intermittent fasting, which is unbelievable to me, considering he's a medical professional. In his most recent video, he talked about gastric bypass surgery being good for long-term weight loss. And just in general, he's talked about obesity and watching what you eat. He's done videos where he's tried certain fad diets for 30 days, but I've never watched them, so I don't know where he stands on keto, for instance. Anyway, it just goes to show that even doctors can still learn a lot in their own fields. So what you're saying is you didn't even watch his videos, yet you're judging this guy? Like, I'm sure you probably just saw the thumbnail of the intermittent fasting video, didn't watch it, and made an assumption on his stance. And oh, by the way, intermittent fasting is healthy, so let's not act like it's not. Many doctors, even this one, says that it's okay to intermittent fast and actually has benefits. You don't know better than your doctor. Going to bed slightly hungry is actually pretty good for your sleep quality. Body's calmer and the system's not at work, but ready to rest. I completely disagree. I need to stuff my face right before bed and then complain that I'm way overweight, because otherwise I can't get a good night of sleep. I don't know where you do your research, but my research says I need to be stuffed. Don't miss out on 95% of your life to weigh 5% less. So 95% of your life revolves around what you eat and being able to eat whatever you want? I think you should start there. That's a problem. Most days, I only eat dinner, and yet I still can't lose weight. Like, what? Okay, so if this is happening to you, it's probably because during this one meal, you're way overeating. Because if you weren't and you were in a calorie deficit, you'd definitely be losing weight. And if you're saying like, oh, but I tracked this meal and I only ate like 1,000 calories. Well, your metabolism could be in the dumps because you've been doing some weird stuff with your eating habits. So you might want to look into doing a refeed for a while and exercising to try to boost up that metabolism. My PhD supervisor is an MD/PhD. Our lab does cancer research. Saw a link on her Facebook page where she'd written, "Do we need any more proof? Sugar feeds cancer cells." When she knows all people should know that cancer eats whatever it can get its evil little hands on. And sugar is just an easy to use energy source. So yeah, fancy degrees and expertise don't blind people to bias. She also talks a lot about how she lost weight with keto, though she just calls it low sugar, even though it was definitely from her not eating after her dad died. But she's not educated in nutrition or food science, so that makes more sense to me. Disappointed to learn this about Dr. Mike though. I like his stuff generally. Just goes to show that doctors really need to stay in their own lane and defer to RDs on this kind of stuff. They really don't get enough training in it to be making statements like that. Yeah, they don't get enough training. Where's all your training coming from? Where's all your knowledge coming from? Some biased Facebook post? Okay, when you can show me a credible source, then maybe I'll believe you. This is the minimum amount of carbohydrates that your body needs every single day. Well, that's just not true. Your body can function just fine without nearly this many carbs. Don't believe me? Try it. Nothing's gonna happen. You'll be fine. When my toddler eats more calories than medically supervised weight loss programs, it is time we all back up and say something is very screwed up here, and it needs to stop. Nothing's screwed up here. Your toddlers are growing and they need lots of calories because you're not growing that much. You don't need as many calories as them. It's plain and simple. When you say, I need to lose weight to not feel pain, fit in my clothes, to move easier, for health, I hear you say, I need to lose weight to avoid discomfort, to avoid change, to avoid loss, to please my doctor, family, etc. Okay, so you hear whatever you want, and they tell themselves these things and actually lose weight. Mind your own business. Why is it such a bad thing for somebody to lose weight? Like, oh my gosh, they're just trying to be happier, healthier, more physically fit, all of the above. Leave them be. If we had a size requirement, what is the lowest size you think should be allowed? I'm thinking US 18, about 48 inches. Please include what country the sizing is using. For example, US, UK, AU, etc. All thoughts welcome, but small fats, be very mindful of your privilege. Oh, this is not about body positivity at all, is it? Because if so, you would let anybody that's insecure with their body into this group. But nah, that's not what it's about. Not in the slightest. Alright, Modder Chodes, that's it for the hot post from r/FatLogic. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. And of course, share this video with your friends. Till next time, peace.